Hi friends, this is Chris. Welcome back to the channel. So if you've been following the markets this past year, you'll know that the AI hype and the AI narrative has been what's driving it. All these companies are investing to make a whole bunch of money off AI. Consumers are like, oh my God, I need this AI to keep up with everyone else. It's gonna make my life so much better. And even Elon Musk over at Tesla is trying to sell you AI for his cars and I guess basically his robots, if that's really gonna happen. But I wanna caution you and also to share my thoughts on why this whole AI hype future is definitely a future that I don't want. There's been a few stories this week that really caught my attention, and there was one today which I want to share with you. It was involving Google and their AI Gemini thing, and they ran an ad during the Olympics. Basically, here's what the ad, I'll tell you what it is. It's about a father and a daughter, and the daughter is a kid, we'll say like 8 years old, something like that. And she wants to grow up to be an Olympic athlete, just like the athletes on Team USA, which, hey, I'm right there with you. First thing you would do, you Google, okay, how do I train? How do I get better at being an athlete like on Team USA? Okay, I'm still with you. But then, this is the part where it kind of really, how can I say, makes it, I don't want to be in this future, is the dad's like, okay, I want to help my daughter write a letter to said athlete, and you go to your Gemini or ChatGPT basically and say, okay, how do I write a letter for my daughter, a fan letter to an athlete? And there's all sorts of problems with this, okay? So one is, and this is a kid, remember this is for her like 8-year-old daughter, we're removing this idea that the kid should express her own feelings in her own way, right? Guys, part of being a kid, and I hope you guys appreciate this, is writing a letter in crayon. Maybe the spelling isn't gonna be correct. Maybe the grammar isn't gonna be correct, but the kid wrote it in their ability and express their feelings the best way that they could. If we start using like AI for that kind of thing, then it's just like, it's no longer your real feelings, right? It's not even your real language, and the kid may not even understand any of the words that are in the letter. It's a different feeling. Like I don't want to remove the crayon written letters from a kid. It's like, like for example, for those of you who have kids, or those of you who work with kids, you ever get a drawing from a kid in crayon? Like it's something special, regardless of how it looks, right? And it's like, it'll just be this red thing of a house and maybe mom and dad, and I'll be like, that's the family, right? And like, there's something important about someone drawing their own thing. I don't know how to say, like I was gonna say, like, you can call art, you can call it message, you can call it creation. Like this is the kind of stuff that you want and need in the world, especially for kids developing. And unfortunately, I think we're moving in a time where we have like this whole generation of kids that maybe don't even learn handwriting anymore. Because I guess, these days, why would I learn handwriting? I have my iPad and my phone and I can just text people. There's something important about those basic skills, the basic creativity, basic communication from a human perspective. And also think about this, I was thinking more deeply. The father then asking, the AI for help with his daughter, then you're removing the parental part of the equation, right? Shouldn't the father be sitting down with the daughter and saying, hey, let's work out through some words of what you want to say, but still don't write it for her, right? Just to help when you need it, but don't do it for her. And also to just remove the interaction between the dad and the kid is bad. Is that what we want? We want AI to come in and replace your parents, replace your teachers, and even, guys, even replace your friends and your lovers. This is another concern. Like, for example, there was a story, it was, I think it was like last year, I remember reading about it earlier this year. They're like popular social influencer kind of people, and often female, and they can be male too, but it's the ones that they're showing that were female. And what they would do, they'll scan their face and images and body, et cetera, into the AI thing, scan their voices, et cetera. And then they charge a monthly fee for users to interact with a essentially AI/fake version of them. And so then that person can get like text from their AI girlfriend. It's a real thing. I remember hearing about this stuff and I was like, what the heck? And I think that stuff's gonna be popping up all over. And then remember, Mr. Musk wants to make you a bunch of AI robots, and then he even said in the last call that I showed you guys that he makes it so you can, everybody's saying, oh, all these third parties are gonna put out skins, so you can put whatever skin you want on your robot. I'm laughing because like, I mean, we're going down this path, right? And like Google's like, a major company, they're putting out these ads of like, hey, use AI to replace learning, use AI to replace, your expressions, use AI to replace your human relationships, I think this is a real problem. Moreover, I was thinking about this as well, and again, this is the future that I don't want. You guys know how, we talk about, say, like the movie The Matrix, and people like to talk about the red pill, blue pill stuff, and you can decide whatever pill you want to take. But the basic choice is like, okay, do I want to live in like a computer-generated fantasy, right, essentially, or do I want to take another pill and go to reality, right? And it's like, and neither one is actually a good choice. And it's kind of like, I think people out there are probably going to go with the fantasy world. That's what I think. And I know that red pill, blue pill has a different meaning for other people, and I don't want to get into that stuff, but I'll just say I think people are going to want to choose this fantasy world. Like, maybe people do want those AI girlfriends, etc. But, my personal opinion in this stuff is if you remove the human relationships of things, I think we go down a real dangerous path. And I think we're kind of there already, to where people get so isolated, they don't even know how to communicate anymore. And this is something that I've been thinking about all the time when I do this channel with you guys, is sometimes I just want to hang out with you and just chat with you uncut. I mean, actually, all my things are uncut, because I don't want to remove the human element from the world. The other thing too I was thinking about with the AI stuff as well is, for many people, they think these AI technology is going to ultimately like make you rich. So here's the thing with that. If we can all subscribe to whatever AI service for $10 a month or $15 a month, or maybe get the deluxe package for $100 a month or whatever, then that means everyone has access to said thing. And well, there's a couple choices. One, are we saying, okay, so now everyone has to buy it because everyone else is using it, and so then the bar is even raised. So now, all of our coding and our emails and stuff like that is all going to be like the certain kind of level. Or you could also say, from a negative point, it's all going to be generic. It's all going to sound the same, right? And then some people are going to be like, oh my God, the only way for me to compete, because everyone else is getting AI, is I have to get AI too. But it's going back into those kind of trends that just because everyone else is doing it, do you have to do it? From my personal opinion on this stuff is if all the kids think that AI is a shortcut to their riches and fame, I think the kids that are going to be more successful are the ones who are not going to take the shortcut. In my personal opinion, just thinking about the example of using AI for your 8-year-old daughter to write a letter to, a fan letter to an Olympian, that's like basically taking the shortcut. I don't want to be a parent. I don't want to teach my kid. I don't want to work with my kid, or the kid, from the kid's perspective, I don't want to, think of any words myself. I want someone else to do it for me. That's essentially shortcuts. Yes, that's what the average person looks for in their life. They want, give me that shortcut so I don't have to do anything. But I want you to just think about this, that in my opinion, the people who, and I say in my opinion because who knows, I could be wrong. Maybe everyone's going to do AI and I'm the crazy one, right? I'm just not into the hype world, but I think the people who are going to be most successful are the ones who are still able to think for themselves. People who are able to do the work, people who don't necessarily say, hey, I want that shortcut. People say, hey, I want to do it myself. Because, say, writing an email, for example, to a person, writing a love letter to a person, right? Hopefully we still do these kind of things. Or just learning how to talk to each other. Like, expressing your own individuality should mean something. It's just, for example, let's say you're out looking to hire someone. I give you a simple example, looking out to hire someone, and you get in, 10 resumes, 10 cover letters, etc. 9 of them literally have the same letter. And then there's one who doesn't, right? One who sounds very, very different. Who do you think you're going to hire, right? Just think about that. And I think that's sort of like the people who think AI is going to be the shortcut. They're going to be one of those 9 people thinking that, oh yeah, that's going to get me ahead. Maybe, and I'm being honest with you, maybe today, theoretically AI is going to help you in the short run because, only 30% of the people have it or whatever, right? But I think it's going to get so ubiquitous that everyone's going to have it soon. Because remember, Apple is like putting it on their phones, and they're going to try to sell it to everyone. So literally everyone's going to have it who has an Apple. And then I think Samsung's jumping into this thing, so they're going to have AI on their phones, whatever, etc. Yes, there are some uses for AI. So for example, I'll just give you a simple example. If I'm driving in the car and I need to send out a text that just says, I'll be late for dinner, right? and I have a menu of A, B, C, or D, like these kind of like really short generic things. That stuff's fine. I got no problem with that. Like I'm going to be late for dinner is not really like it's irrelevant to my personal communication, or I will see you soon, or I'm 5 minutes away. Like we've had that kind of short pre-generated messages in the past, and in fact, some phones have this where you can like write your own or cars, I should say. Some cars have this where you can write your own pre-generated messages for yourself, right? And you can have a selection of A, B, C, so you can keep your eyes on the road and not crash anyone, essentially. But when you get to like more complex stuff, you know, be it again your personal communication where you really should be expressing your own views. So, for example, these days we've been seeing a lot of letters of companies who have to lay off employees. And whenever, because I read these with you guys, whenever I read some of these, sometimes people say right away, that's definitely AI generated. Some people will spot that. And other times you can see, well, nope, that looks like a person actually wrote it. Like, it's going to matter considerably in the future, right? If you really want to show someone that you care about them, take the time to sit down and write the dang thing yourself. A robot is not going to express things in a way that you as a human being can. And it's a frustrating world because, like I said, I think most people are looking for the shortcut, but that's not the future that I want, or the future that I preach or teach. So I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on this stuff. I just talked about the Google situation. There are obviously other problems with AI, with the deep fakes and stuff like that, which we've talked before on this channel, but I just, now that I really let this sink in, having AI do too much work for kids at a very young age, I think is extremely dangerous, and essentially developing a bunch of young kids that don't want to work and look for shortcuts. That's the danger that I see. So I want to hear your thoughts on this one, and I'll catch you in the next video.